to Community Connections. I'm Marnie Yule, your host. Glad you're joining us today as we get started on, really, the official day was yesterday, the first day of fall, so you see I had to break out my sweaters and get those warm clothes out. But a lot of exciting things going on, especially at the Heritage Park Zoological Sanctuary and over at Findlay Toyota Center, which will be the Turquoise Circuit Rodeo coming up, and we'll have guests from there a little bit later in the show. But right now I'd like to welcome Ron Brashear and Diane Cruz from Heritage Park Zoological Sanctuary, and our friend...
This is Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, who's wandering around here. Yes. Obviously, so much fun having our guest from the zoo there. She's a burrower.
She is a burrower, yes.
Okay, very good. You're a camera shy burrower. She'd come in. Hey there, Pocahontas. Can I?
You can touch her. I mean, they are pokey, but they're not going to do any sort of damage.
I was wondering if they, because you see hedgehogs and they have the little spiky fur.
Exactly.
If it was pokey or it was just figment of the way it looked, but
not quite as problematic.
But you're holding her quite comfortably.
This is what they do when they get a little nervous. They'll roll up into a ball, and that's defensive because they're going to protect their soft parts underneath. And then when they feel confident that the danger has passed, they'll come out. They are nocturnal, so they're going to be more active at night, and they're going to be eating insects. They're insectivores.
Okay.
So they do help to, reduce that crazy insect population that we always have problems with.
I like anything that
summer.
Eats insects. Now, do people have these as pets?
Actually, you can have them as pets in Arizona. Not all states will let you have them as pets, so you definitely want to check your, local laws and rules. But yes, in Arizona, you can have them as pets. And they can make great pets as long as you're prepared for what they need. They need a specific diet that's going to be an insectivore diet, basically. She's getting mealworms right now, which can be high in fat, so you don't want to just rely on mealworms completely. And they have a good sense of smell, so she's kind of sniffing around to find where her little treats are. And so we'll just kind of hide them under here. They have tiny little legs and feet, as you can see, pretty small. Now these ones are, their relatives would be from the African pygmy hedgehog. There are different types of hedgehogs that you can find in Europe. These ones, the ones in Europe are a lot bigger, so these are going to be a small African pygmy hedgehog.
Now you have mealworms in here. What's the other things? Looks like oats?
It's just oats, yeah. It's just kind of mealworm.
Because she was sniffing the oats and then she found the worm and ate that.
Yeah, and that's what they have that long nose for, to try and root out insects when they're trying to find them. We're not trying to block her view, just keep her from falling off the table.
We don't want her to jump off the table. No, she probably wouldn't land very easily. Oh, there goes she back burrowing.
And you can see how good they are at tunneling. She's doing an excellent job of that. They're more nocturnal, so we got her up early today.
Well, she's doing very well here, entertaining everybody, so we're happy about that. Ron, she's coming out the other side. While we're talking about that, then let's talk about what's coming up at the Heritage Park Zoological Sanctuary, and of course, an opportunity to see Pocahontas and all of the animals.
Yes. Over 200 animals at the Heritage Park Sanctuary. Sorry, watching what they're doing. But we do have our biggest fundraiser coming up of the year called Taste of the Wild. That's going to be Sunday, October 6th. So we do encourage everyone to please buy tickets. If you go to www.heritageparkzoo.org, you can buy tickets there. You can just come by the gift shop or give us a call at 928-778-4242. And the Taste of the Wild, what we do is we have a lot of different local vendors, so local restaurants, breweries, wineries are going to be there giving samples of their food, samples of their drink, and it's just a really fun time. And actually this year we're going to, if anyone's been to the sanctuary lately, we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting ceremony for our eagle enclosure.
Oh, wonderful.
So for the first time we're going to be able to put the Tika in Montana in the same enclosure, so it's going to be really neat. And actually for a couple special guests, we're going to have a little thing where they can actually go in the enclosure and actually have a glass of wine.
With the eagles.
With the eagles. So it's another reason to come to Taste of the Wild. But as you can see how cute the animals are and other ones we bring on, the fundraiser helps us do this. So it is a big deal for us. And we have a huge silent auction. We're going to have a lot of different entertainment things going on. One thing I have been joking about is goat craps.
I'm sorry?
We're calling
Say that
it- just like I know, it's goat craps. So what we're gonna do is gonna be like squares. So people are gonna go ahead and buy squares, and we're gonna let a goat come out, and wherever the goat decides
To do his
the
business.
business, that will be the winner. So we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. So we do encourage everyone to please come out. If you've never been, please come out. It's a good time. And it's just really for a good cause, obviously. It's to help keep the sanctuary going because we are getting to our slower period of time. So this really helps us get through the winter, which
Right.
is a little bit slower.
And how do you purchase tickets?
Purchase tickets, once again, if you go to www.heritageparkzoo.org, and you can purchase tickets online. If you see where the events are, it'll be a drop-down menu. As well, you can just come to the gift shop, or you can give us a call and do it over the phone, which is 928-778-4242.
And this is an afternoon, later
Yep.
afternoon to early evening time, so the sun is out. It'll be a beautiful fall day.
And actually, I looked at the weather just today. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful 70 and sunny, so it's going to
cooler,
be perfect.
which means the animals are more
Yep.
likely to be
Definitely more active.
out and active.
We're going to have a
Great.
lot of different animals this year, so we're going to go to a few of the different enclosures and have presentations, as well as bringing a bunch out. So it's really fun. It's last year I had so much fun. I'm actually looking forward to this year. So, and the weather looks better this year. So
Wonderful.
And I do want to
wonderful.
mention Embry-Riddle is helping us out with parking. So we're actually going to be right at the front lot next to the library. So since we do have a little bit of a smaller parking lot, it's easier if you just go to Embry-Riddle. We're going to have shuttle buses running back and forth all the time.
very good.
So right between the main building and the library, there's going to be a little tent set up for picking people up and back and forth.
Oh, that's
So-
great. That makes it much
Convenient.
easier for parking. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. So to purchase tickets, go to heritageparkzoo.org. How much are tickets?
Tickets are $95, and that gets you everything inside except for the silent auction. Those you get to bid on yourself, which I've already seen a few items I'm going to bid on. So I got a few good ones.
We support
so-
our own fundraisers. That's how it works.
I'm sure I'll be outbid. Last year there was a bunch of people waiting right there, like this is going to be mine. So
Right,
it's fun
right.
to see how that works. So we're going to have a raffle as well. So it's a really good afternoon, and it's going to be Sunday, October 6th from 2 to 6, like you said. So.
Well, we got a little bit more time, so it's coming up October. Any special events coming up after Taste of the Wild?
I could list a whole bunch, but
Well, we're going to go on the website, but give me a couple right
I'll
off
go
the bat.
quick. What we do have is going to be, let me show you I have the right dates. We're going to have Fall Zoo Camp, which is right after Taste of the Wild, and that's going to be October 7th through 11th, and that's going to be coincides with fall break of kids in school, and that's going to be
wonderful.
for 6-year-olds through 12-year-olds. We also have Zoo Littles. We've extended into October on October 16th, 19th, and 23rd. And then a couple more things. We do have Fall Fest coming up, which is just going to be like we call it the Zoo Fest. We're going to have a bounce house that weekend, and it's going to be on the weekend of October 26th and 27th. Bounce house, we're actually going to sell concessions, and that's just going to be for regular price. And I do want to mention
We got to go to the
Gotta
website.
go.
What is it?
Gotta go to the website.
www.heritageparkzoo.org.
Ron and Diane, thank you for bringing Pocahontas. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us here on Community Connections.
Hey everybody, it's David Osmond from Wonderama. Family is so important to me, and it's important to the 2020 census. So, when you respond to the census, remember to count everyone in your household, including young children. An accurate count of everyone, including young children, ensures that your community receives the funding for education and healthcare that it deserves. To learn more, go to 2020census.gov.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
And welcome back to Community Connections. Okay, it's coming up October 4th and 5th. It is the PRCA Ram Turquoise Circuit Rodeo Finals at Findlay Toyota Center. Joining me now is Tony Zimbeck, he's the committee chair, and Jordan Omby, Miss Rodeo Arizona. So welcome, both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, Tony, October 4th and 5th.
Yes, ma'am.
How many performances do we have? Let's bring everybody down to Findlay Toyota Center and see some wonderful rodeo action, right?
Yes, ma'am. We're tickled to be here. It's the 4th and the 5th. Friday night is the 4th. We have one performance at 7 o'clock. And then on Saturday the 5th, we have one at 1:30 and then one in the evening at 7 o'clock as well.
Right. Now, special, Jordan, you were telling me about this the last time we talked, is the first time you're having an exceptional rodeo.
Yes.
Happening at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday?
On October 5th, yes.
On Saturday, October 5th. And exceptional rodeo is participation by those with special needs.
Yep.
We were talking, all ages can participate.
Yes, it's open to all ages and it's also free. So anybody that wants to come out and join us, they just need to RSVP. We have about 20 spots still open and it's free for all families involved in the special needs community to come out and enjoy that for the day.
So how would they register?
They can register online at turquoisecircuitfinals.com or you can email Julie at jettenmarketing.com.
Jetten?
Jutten.
Jutten.
And that's all online too if they want more information.
And then if somebody wants to come out and support and cheer on our cowboys and cowgirls with special needs, is that open to the public also?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that's new this year.
Yep, this is their first year and it's a really special event. So anybody that wants to come out and see what it's all about, it's a really fun time.
Oh, the joy and the laughter and the fun that these folks have being able to participate in rodeo type events.
Yeah, they kind of get to feel what it's like to compete in a rodeo for themselves, and they get one-on-one. Everybody comes out and helps, and they can ride a horse, and they just get that one-on-one treatment and activity, and everybody's rewarded for their unique skills that they bring that day.
Oh, that's terrific. Great. So that's 9 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. Register again ahead of time at turquoisecircuitrodeo.com?
turquoisecircuitfinals.com.
Finals.com. Tony, back to you. Tell me about the Turquoise Circuit Finals. What does that encompass?
It encompasses all of the different events of rodeo, from bareback and riding, saddle bronc riding, team roping, tie-down roping, barrel racing, bull riding, all of them, steer wrestling.
Now, tell me about Turquoise Circuit.
Well, the circuit here the Turquoise Circuit is one of 12 circuits across America that all of the circuit's top twos after the finals, they're competing to go to Kissimmee, Florida for the Dodge National Circuit Finals, which will happen after all the circuits have completed their finals.
Okay, so each circuit has its own unique name,
Yes,
signifying maybe the particular area
That's correct.
that it represents or encompasses. So Turquoise Circuit is Arizona
And New Mexico.
And New Mexico.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then and a different name would be, let's say, Wyoming or Colorado.
There's different circuits.
Right, so that they all have a significant name.
They all have a significant name for them.
Right. So, but the Cowboys and Cowgirls that are competing in the finals that we'll be having October 4th and 5th have competed in rodeos all over the Arizona and New Mexico rodeo circuit.
Yes, I mean they've competed all throughout the country.
They do that too?
Whatever
Okay.
rodeos they chose to go to.
Okay.
But whatever circuit that they designate as their home circuit would be the ones that would be competing here in the finals.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The top 12 in those events.
From that particular circuit.
Yes, ma'am.
And then each circuit sends their finalists to
their
Florida.
particular circuit. Yes.
Collectively, then they go to Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
And then anything after Florida?
Well, there's the national finals that's in Las Vegas in December.
Oh, okay.
But that's kind of a different thing from the circuit.
Right.
deal.
But they can
Yes, there are
ultimately
some of
compete
the
in.
same people that end up in both.
That's amazing.
finals.
So what we're getting is like the best.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
That will be here competing for, a place in those finals.
Yes.
Yes, because money won in your circuit also counts towards year-end standings for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Right. So we do the full rodeo program, grand entry,
Yes, ma'am.
always my favorite. Now, Jordan, are you going to be riding in the grand entry?
Yes, this is my third year riding in the Grand Entry for circuit finals, and it's such a fun time every year. But this year it's a little more special as I get to go back as Miss Rodeo Arizona.
That's right. And then, don't you compete also coming up
Yes,
this year?
I have a big
I'm just going to shout out to
competition
you.
coming up. Yes, I'm getting ready to compete for Miss Rodeo America. The competition starts December 1st, and it's a week long, so the end of it coincides with the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. So it's right in Las Vegas.
Well, we're cheering you on.
Thank
We're going to
you.
send you off with a lot of love, a lot of support from
Thank
all of us
you.
out here in Prescott Valley, and obviously the Turquoise Circuit Rodeo Finals happening here. But good to see you because you'll be through the rodeo all weekend
Yes.
long.
Yep.
You don't compete. You just do Queen stuff, right?
Yep, I just promote the rodeo and then go have fun.
Great. Well, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Tickets are very reasonable. It's a family event. I think they started at $14, if I'm not mistaken.
$14 is the beginning
So
price.
$14, you can bring the whole family out. You've got the matinee or evening performances. Concessions will be open. There'll be vendors. And just a lot of fun to come out and spend the evening. Everybody says it's a good old all-American sport.
Yes, ma'am.
Still take your hat off for the flag and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. You see it at rodeo all the time. And it's just a great, great family atmosphere with some exceptional cowboys and cowgirls that'll be competing with us here.
Yes, ma'am.
So we look forward to it. Tony just says a lot of yes, ma'am.
No, we're really happy that we're here for our third year.
We're happy to have you.
We definitely want to continue this in Prescott Valley, and it's becoming a really anticipated event at this time of the year.
And we're also talking about, just to mention this, they're competing for approximately $175,000 in prize money. So again, that's another great incentive, and bringing our
Absolutely.
cowboys and cowgirls here is a great purse there, the possibility winning, and then going on to the finals.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
again, come on out. Next segment, we're going to have two of the finalists that will be competing in our finals coming up on October 4th and 5th. So we're excited to meet them. And again, Jordan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing you at the rodeo. And Tony, hey, yes, ma'am, me all you want. It's always good to have you on the
Thank
show.
you.
And again, that's Turquoise Circuit Rodeo Finals, PRCA, happening on October 4th and 5th. So again, 7 o'clock on Friday, matinee 2 o'clock on Saturday, and again 7 o'clock on Saturday night. Okay, great. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with our competitors.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
And welcome back to Community Connections. As we've been talking about these last two segments, the Turquoise Circuit Rodeo Finals happening on October 4th and 5th. Joining me now, and this is lucky because we don't always get this opportunity to talk to competitors. I have Sarah Kekeffer and I have Trey Blackmore. And I was going to tell you what events they compete in, but I thought I would rather let them tell you. So Sarah, I'm going to start ladies first. Tell us a little bit about yourself, the events you compete in, and how long you've been doing it, and I'll ask you more questions.
Well, I'm local. I've lived in Prescott since 1986, so most of my life. I've run barrels. I also team rope a little bit on the side. Mm-hmm. And just compete mainly close to home these days.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been competing?
Since I was a small child.
Small child.
Mm-hmm.
Put you on a horse and said, let's ride, and then Barrels are fun.
Both of my parents rodeoed, so that was kind of what my brother and I went into.
Oh, okay. Well, barrel racing, that's one of my favorites, or as she said, run barrels, which is probably the correct way to say it. Okay, so where have you competed in order to appear in the finals here on October 4th and 5th?
So the turquoise circuit is comprised of the Arizona and New Mexico. We have rodeos in both states. You can pick and choose where you want to go to if it's too far, or if you just don't like that town. But I mainly just stay close in Arizona. I've gone to a few in New Mexico. And my horse did really well this year, so I kind of got to choose where I wanted to go and didn't have to go as hard more this summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what gets you to the finals then? Being successful, but is it about points? Is it about money?
It's on money won at each rodeo.
Okay.
Typically in the barrel race, they paid it to 10th place. Mm-hmm. So it ends up being a trailer race to some of the girls that don't do as well.
Right.
But you just try to win as much money as you can.
So now when you're rodeoing, is that a word? Rodeoing? Mark's going, I don't know. When you're rodeoing, do you work full time, or is that your full-time job, or do you rodeos that happen on the weekends and you travel?
I'm mainly a weekend cowgirl right now.
So you get up,
we have a ranch, so that's Monday through Friday, and then you get to go to the rodeos on the weekends.
So that's why you might pick something a little closer than not. So what's the furthest way you've competed?
This year? Mm-hmm. Oh, I went clear to Salinas, California. That's one of my favorite rodeos in the summer. So I did go spend a week out there. But in the circuit, the farthest I went to was probably Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you've done very well. And so you're going to be competing on Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. Now, do you do this all the time? I mean, you ride and you run barrels all the time for practice, build your speed?
I used to, but anymore I just have my one good horse, and I ride a few colts, but he knows his job, so I don't have to go that much.
So it's all about you and the horse?
Yes.
And you have a good horse that you've trained and just knows just a little knee here or this, where they're going. Mm-hmm. Really, it's a relationship, right?
Yes, it is.
And what's your horse's name?
Lava.
Lava? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, best of luck to you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to jump over here to Trey Blackmore. Okay, welcome.
How are you?
How are you? Good, good. Now, where are you from?
Born and raised in Hillside, Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Which is near to somebody that may not know.
Kirkland, Skull Valley, Baghdad area, like all down through there.
Okay, all right. How long have you been team roping?
As long as I can remember. It's something I've done my entire life.
Put a rope. How hard is that? I don't know. I look at a lot of things, and somehow I think team roping is probably one of the hardest. How do you get that rope and you get it over that calf's head?
Close your eyes. I don't know. It's just something.
Hail Mary.
I'm sure it's really hard to learn. It takes a long time.
A lot of practice.
Lots and lots and lots of practice. But just like anything, the more you work at it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, yeah. So where have you competed in order to make it to the finals here?
Everywhere. We've been everywhere this year. We've been all over Arizona, New Mexico to make it to the turquoise circuit finals, but we even left the circuit quite a bit. Like we went to Cody, Wyoming, Livingston, Montana. Like we went all over. Now,
is that to compete or the fun of competing in another rodeo?
Oh, that's just the fun of competing and going and being out there.
So tell me about your, do you work and then do rodeo on the weekends also, or?
Yes, ma'am. We have a ranch down there in Hillside, and we stay pretty busy. They do a good job of letting me take off probably more than they should. But next year I'm going to try to be rodeoing full time.
Wow, very good. So then you would just travel all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
What's the hardest thing about traveling then and going from rodeo to rodeo and competing?
Probably the driving.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of driving.
Right.
You drive 10 hours to rope one or two steers and then drive another 10 hours, and you're on the road a lot.
But you're doing well. You made it to the finals.
Yeah.
You must have a good relationship with your horse, because again, in team roping, it's about timing.
Oh yeah. I've got a good one. We raised him there at the ranch, and I made him. He's 13 now, and he's pretty special.
What's your horse's name?
Homer.
Homer. I find that almost sometimes the relationship between the rider and the horse, or the competitor and the horse, really can make the difference if you're successful or not. Mm-hmm. So it's spending a lot of time with them, working with them, training with them. competing with them,
For sure.
Yeah,
you know,
they
feeding
become,
them, loving them, brushing them.
yeah, they become family.
I love horses. I know. So you compete in a team roping. That's a team sport.
Yes, ma'am.
So how many do you work with? Cowboys you work with? Is it two?
Two.
Two,
It's the
so-
only team sport in rodeo. There's a header and a healer.
Right. And so what do you do?
I head.
Okay. And so explain that to those that are watching, what your responsibility is when that calf comes out.
My responsibility, I have to score good and not break the barrier. They're allowed so much of a head start. Then my job is to get it on the head and handle him, keep him on his feet where my healer can catch him.
And then
And then I have to face, and that ends the run.
I know everybody, you know, you watch this so many times. I mean, we know barrel racing kind of come out. You don't touch the barrels, and your speed and your accuracy is so important.
And it's timed with an electric eye, so it's down to the 100th of a second.
Yes, yeah. And then, but a little more confusing was the scoring on team roping, and you've explained a little bit to us. I think if you want to know more, you just need to come out to the rodeo.
Yeah.
And you need to see Sarah and Trey compete. You've met them here on Community Connections. Now you can go see them in action at the Turquoise Circuit. Rodeo finals happening October 4th and 5th. Again, 3 performances. Saturday is a matinee. Don't forget the Exceptional Rodeo starting at 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock matinee, and 7 o'clock evening performance. Friday night, come on out, get off work, go have a little food. And again, concessions will be open. It'll be a wonderful night. And will there be an opportunity to meet you guys? I mean, that would be so much fun. Do you ever sign autographs? I mean, you really are, as competitors, though, kind of celebrities. You're really a big deal.
I usually walk around there for a while afterwards and stuff. Like, I usually see a lot of people around there.
I always think that that's one of the things I always found about rodeo early on was how friendly the cowboys and cowgirls were with the community. So I wish you guys all the best of luck. I'll be out there to see you and cheering you both on. So Sarah,
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us again, Turquoise Circuit Rodeo. Don't miss it.